Hello and welcome to Yoga Therapy made possible by UCLA Health's Integrative Medicine Collaborative. My name is Julie and I'm here today to be your guide as we explore the things that we can do, the yogic techniques that we can practice to return to a state of relaxation. So today we'll begin our practice seated in a chair. We're going to come to the front of the chair so that you're not leaning back. And let's use the body to help us come into the moment by tucking the chin back, lining the ears on top of the shoulders, shoulders on top of the hips, hips pressing into the chair, knees on top of the ankles. So we've got this very angular pose. Feel the line of energy, if you will, from the heel to the knee. And the second line from the knee to the hip. Here's another from the hip to the shoulder. And the head resting right on top of the shoulders. Head above heart, heart above hip. And notice how different this feels from sitting normally, sitting with consciousness. So we begin the practice with a centering to remind ourselves that we're about to do something important. You can think about it as a capital letter at the beginning of a sentence or national anthem before a sporting event or horns blaring. In fact, the first line of the Yoga Sutras is, "And now the teachings of yoga." Yoga Sutra is a founding text of yoga. And now the teachings of yoga, not yesterday or some imagined future, but right now, coming into this body, into this moment. Bringing particular attention to the contact points of the feet on the floor, the hips on the chair. And now bring your awareness in this static pose to that energetic aspect of self that is always here, that we call the respiratory system, and begin consciously breathing in and out through the nostrils with the breath initiating in the abdominal region. Set a rhythm and a pace, equal parts inhale and exhale. For 1 minute, using the breath as an anchor to keep you in the moment. Noticing that we stop before we start. Also noticing that conscious breathing is the beginning of conscious movement. Release the tongue from the roof if you find it there. Upper teeth from lower teeth. Using physical aspect of self and energetic aspect of self. Let's continue to move a little subtler. Think about how you feel in this moment, an emotion. And notice how we're moving inward from the physical self, the gross self, then to the energetic self, and now moving in even subtler to the emotional, sentient aspect of self. Still consciously breathing in and out, we'll begin to add movement. And this is exactly what the ancient yogis found out. When they connected movement to breath, they were able to bring about a change. With your next inhale, noticing the lift in the spine. And with the exhale, we're going to slide forward, hands come down the leg. With the inhale, slide the hands back up to neutral. And exhale, bowing forward. Continue on your own, choosing a rhythm and a pace, following that natural inclination of the body to come into extension with the inhale, and flexion with the exhale. Also using touch here, our first language, to help us keep in the moment. Right now, the teachings of yoga. And the next time you come into the fold, hold the posture. Chin is tucked to chest, shoulders are relaxed. Let the weight of the head release tension in the cervical spine and your neck. Getting a sense of lengthening in the thoracic spine and your torso. And still consciously breathing in and out. Remembering that anytime we fold the body, we are dropping into the opposite of stress. Tuck the chin to the chest as you slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Take an inhale and sigh it out. Bring the hands down by the side of the body. Inhale, sweep them up. Clasp the fingers and push the palms toward the sky. You can have a slight bend in the elbow or extend without locking out the elbow. Inhale here. And exhale, we're going to lean toward the left, just the upper body. Turn your gaze down toward the earth. Inhale. Exhale, look straight ahead. Inhale here. Exhaling, looking all the way up, getting a sense of lengthening on the right side of the body and squeezing on the left side of the body. Lateral flexion. With your next inhale, come all the way up. Notice how you are clasping the hands before you release and shake out the fingers and the arms and the shoulders. Now clasp the hands your non-habitual way. It should feel very different. And once again, lift up. Notice that the mind chose the easier way. Once again, these palms are facing or reaching toward the sky. Bend in the elbow. This is forgiving limbs. And breathing. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, crescent pose toward the right. Equal pressure on both feet and on both hips. That left hip's going to want to pop up. Let this be about the upper body. Look down at the earth as you inhale. Exhale, look straight ahead. Inhaling here. Exhaling, looking all the way up. A few breaths here. And notice how, perhaps noticing how the difficulty in the clasp has now become easier. With your next inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, release and shake. Let's release the shoulders with rotation. Hands come to the thighs. With your inhale, come forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Continuing. Heading in the opposite direction now. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. And return to the center. Inhaling, sighing it out. 2 more on your own. Lifting the right foot off of the ground, grabbing onto the back of the hamstring. Let's rotate the right ankle, left and right and left. And now point and flex, point and flex. Last one like this. Coming into the hold, maybe switching to the shin, maybe not. Make sure you still have that plumb line, ear on top of shoulder, shoulder on top of hip. And breathe. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, extend the right leg, flex the right foot, grabbing onto the back of the hamstring. And let's look for that line of energy. Now we have it from the heel all the way to the hip. Not completely dumping onto the hand. See if you can lift up and off. Lifting that right leg up. Here's some abdominal strength needed. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, release. Right foot down to the ground. Let's go to the other side now. Grabbing onto the ham. And rotate the ankle. Pointing and flexing 3 times. Coming back to the hold, maybe backing off or maybe holding on to the shin. Definitely breathing. It's the most important part of the practice. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, extend the left leg, flex the left foot. And once again, notice if you are dumping the weight on the hand, you want to lift up and out, still supporting the leg without locking out that knee. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, release and drop the foot down. We'll extend both legs straight out now, coming onto the heels of the feet, grabbing onto the side of the chair. And now we'll just inhale as you lift the right leg up, point the toe, and exhale, flex as you lower. Other side, inhale, point and lift, and exhale, flex and lower. Continue on your own. You can speed this up or slow it down. Make sure the shoulders are on top of the hips. One more time on each side. Take the palms in front of the heart, rub them together, creating some heat. And now we're going to tap out the quadricep. Remember that this is where the body tends to store minerals and vitamins. Come back to the center, grabbing onto the chair. Once again, either lifting one leg at a time up, pointing and flexing, or lifting both legs up off the ground. Both options are correct. Wherever you are, make sure you're breathing. And once again, notice the angular shape here. If the legs are off the ground, look for the angle without judgment of where it is. Take a deep inhale here. If you're lifting one at a time, finish off the side and then come back to the neutral seated posture. And see if you can't begin to feel a balancing out of left and right, of up and down, of sideways after 15 minutes of conscious practice. Lucky us, we have 15 more minutes. Let's bring the hands down by the side of the body. With your inhale, bring the arms into a V shape. Check in with the rest of the body. Make sure the feet are right underneath the knees and we're not arching in the back. We are pushing the hips into the chair. Ear on top of shoulder, shoulder on top of hip. The pelvis is slightly tilted forward and up. Light pressure of the fingers together with the thumbs pointing back behind you. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, reverse the V, come into a forward fold and reach the arms back behind you. Palms are facing each other, thumbs pointing down toward the earth. Let's add a flowing motion here. With your inhale, come up into the V. And with your exhale, come down. Continue on your own. Like a seesaw. Let there be fluidity. Let this be one posture instead of two. Not quite stopping and starting. Noticing the gap in between. The next time you come up, let's hold the pose. Inhale and sigh it out. Inhale and let go. Last one on your own. We'll do the same thing, but this time with the fold, we're going to bring the hands to the lower back. So inhale here. And with your exhale, bring the hands back. The palms are stacked back behind you as you fold. Inhale as you open. And exhale as you fold, alternating which hand comes on top. Inhale up. Exhale down. Continue. Choose a speed. Trying to remember which hand was below as you come into the fold. Connecting mind to body. Via the neck. Using the breath. One more just like this. As you return to the neutral seated posture, breathing in and out. Let's continue to move forward and back as we move the feet in a heel-toe motion coming into a wide stance. Here you have the option of practicing this seated or standing. If you'd like to stand, make sure again that tail is tucked, toes are pointing slightly away from center. Either seated or standing, bring your hands toward the center. And if you're standing, bend the knees so that they're tracking right over the feet. And here we go. We're going to inhale as we lift up and exhale as you come down. There's a little bounce if you're standing in between. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. A few more just like this. Last one. Let the hands float down by the side of the body, breathing in and out. We're going to put a twist in here, either seated or standing. If you're standing, bend the knee and let the hands slide down the thigh. If you're seated, wide hands are on the thigh. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, bring the right shoulder toward the left knee. Inhale back through center and up, and exhale left shoulder to right knee. Continue on your own. So here is some rotation for the spine. And the next time the right shoulder comes toward the left knee, we're going to hold the pose. Check in with the tongue, releasing, check in with the jaw and the shoulder. You can stay here. If you're standing and you need a little bit more, you can bring that right hand down to the floor. Wherever you are, breathing. Right shoulder toward left knee. And if you still need a little bit more, if you're standing, you can straighten the legs And lift the left arm up. Wherever you are, 3 deep inhales and exhales in this twist. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, we're going to fold toward the center. So if you're seated, reach forward. Hands can rest on the thighs or come down to the floor. If you're standing, knees can be bent, reaching toward the floor, maybe touching the floor, or you can straighten the legs and bring the hands toward the floor. Let's shake out the head wherever you are, nodding. Tuck the chin to the chest as you slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. And decide from here, if you're standing, if you'd like to practice seated as we go to the other side. Seated or standing, both options are correct. If you're standing, bend in the knee, seated or standing. Let's now bring the left shoulder toward the right knee and hold the pose, not holding the breath. And once again, maybe that left hand wants to come down. Maybe you want to straighten the legs, maybe reaching the arm. Listening with kindness and compassion, not exceeding your edge. And breathing. Wherever you are, take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, come into the forward fold. Wide-legged forward fold, hands on the floor, forearms on the thigh, maybe reaching for the floor. Maybe the knees stay bent. This wide stance is friendlier for hip and low back. Make sure you're breathing. Tuck the chin to the chest as you slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. If you're standing, let's heel, toe, come back to feet hip width apart. We'll finish our series today with a seated back bend. So if you're on the chair, start by grabbing onto the side of the chair. The shoulders come back behind you. If you're standing, bring the hands down by the side and reach them toward the floor. So here you will already start to feel a little arch in the low back. You can stay here. Maybe bring the hands to your low back. Maybe clasp the hands back behind you, reaching the chin up. Maybe returning to the V. Maybe pushing the hips forward. Lots of options here. The object here is to bring a sense of opening to the front of the torso. Mild back bend here. Once again, make sure you are breathing. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, let's release and swan dive, coming into the last fold of the day. So when we practice yoga for stress management, there is a lot of breath. It's breath-centered first and foremost, but there also should always be some folding and some twisting. This is how we restore. Tuck the chin to the chest as you slowly roll up. If you're standing, come into a seat. Notice the immediate ease of coming into a seat. Still on the edge of the chair or toward the front of the chair, let's readjust the hips so that the tailbone has a really good connection, pulling the flesh away from center. Let's practice a 5 to 6 breaths per minute practice next. First, release your breathing. And notice how the autonomic nervous system is always there to pick up. And now begin consciously breathing in and out through the nostrils. Without holding the breath, we're going to practice this breathing sequence. If it feels too long for you, by all means, please adjust. When we hold the breath, that's what we do when we're stressed. So we're cultivating the opposite here. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, let's begin together with an inhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause and release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, not holding. Inhale. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. Continuing on your own. Make sure you're inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils with the breath initiating in the abdominal region. And once again, release conscious breathing. Without using the breath or movement, see if you can't stay in the present. And usually as soon as we start to do that, we notice the tendencies of focus. We notice the tendencies of the mind to wander. It's a very important part of the practice. It's what we do next that matters most. First is awareness, is noticing the mind's tendency to go to the past or to go to the future, problem solving. Very rare are we in the moment. And now the teachings of yoga. When the mind wanders, gently bring it back. Befriending the stillness and the quiet in the same bodily position where we began the practice. And once again, if you had to choose a word to describe how you feel, let's weave in that emotional aspect of self. What would that word be? From this place, using the power of your ability to discern and the wisdom that exceeds education, think about something else that pulls you into the moment. Maybe it is a sporting event or art, a song. Maybe it's something in nature. This is free form here, just letting the mind, giving the mind and the heart and the aspect of self that is wise to wander around and roam around and find something else other than this breathing and these gentle stretches that help us stay in the moment. Maybe it's a person. Notice how you feel on the inside when you bring your focus and awareness to something on the outside that helps you as well. And now we'll go from this subtle aspect of self to gross aspect as you release the mind from this thought, coming back to the breath as you consciously breathe in and out, adding movement to the gross body. Hands come down by the side. With your next inhale, sweep the arms up. Press the palms together and let them come over the front of the face, down the nose and the cheeks and the chin and the neck, and back to the center of it all. Hands in front of your heart. The teacher in me honors and bows to and respects the teacher and the light in each one of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Julie. That was fantastic.
Thank you, Julie.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Julie, you always, your smile and the talk, tone of voice and what you teach, it just calms me down and remove the stress. You know, thank you so much.
Sophia, it's my pleasure. And I'm going to tell you, like I always do, that you did this. You did this with the power of yoga, the power of this ancient practice and philosophy that that I feel really fortunate to share with you all. So thank you. We'll see you next Tuesday. I was, last week we talked a little bit about how to enhance sleep. And I know some of you have already heard this talk before, but if you haven't, if you want to come, let's say 10 minutes early on Thursday, we can talk about just a brief talk about how to improve sleeping habits. It's sleep hygiene. So I wanted to offer that to you outside of the session because I know some people come for the first time at session. So if you're interested.
Yes. So this Thursday, just 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah, this Thursday.
Thank you very much, Julie.
Thanks so much.
Welcome. You're welcome very much. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you, Julie.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Tammy. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Rosina and Paul and William. Take care.
You too. Thank you.